Anytime a player qualifies for the US Amateur, it's a big deal to start off with.
Going to the USM, just me getting through in Knoxville at Willow Creek, that was a big thing. I wasn't a big name.
It's an extremely difficult tournament to get in, probably the hardest amateur tournament to get into in the world.
This finish for Steven Fox.
But it becomes a two-part tournament, and the first part is taking care of the stroke play aspect to at least have a chance in match play.
Getting through the stroke play part, or at least getting myself a chance to get into the playoff, those 17 for 14 playoff, that was exciting. Go 4 holes in that playoff and snag the 63rd seed. It was pretty cool.
He did what he had to do to make it through, and again, when you make it to match play, then all it is one-on-ones. You're not talking about playing against the rest of the field.
That's when Ben and I started talking like, you know, we really need to be there for the finals.
Then I get a text from Coach June, and we'd discussed this earlier on, as we said if Steven had made the final, Coach June said, we're going out there.
You know, for a coach, that's something you really need to be there to see. Cherry Hills was fantastic. They've hosted a lot of great tournaments there, and you know, you're used to seeing so many players milling around and golf bags going everywhere, and you look around, there's only 2 guys going to play.
There's 2 nameplates, me and Michael, that's it. The match was so much fun. I don't know if we played our best golf the first 27 holes. You know, I think I was up 1 or 2 after 5, and then I never saw a lead again until the 37th hole.
And the next thing you know, we're standing around, and his dad, who was caddied for however many holes, turned around and said, I'm not the person to finish these remaining 18 holes.
When my dad is on the bag, he's my caddy, no longer my dad. And as soon as he puts the bag down, he's my dad again. After we were having lunch, I told my dad, I said, I think you're going to sit this one out, and I'm going to ask Ben to do it. And he completely understood. He said, thank you.
We're kind of like, what do you mean? He said, I came here, I was doing my son a favor by carrying his bag. And at this point, and he goes, if he's going to win this US Amateur, he needs someone that can give him more golfing advice.
I mean, me and Ben have had a good relationship previous years that I've been here, and it was just going to be a fun round like we're playing at Council Fire or the Honors, anything like that. That's what it was going to be. Go to 15, they do move the tees up, which is good for me because Weaver hits it a lot longer than I do. Fastest putt, read it perfect, goes in, have the momentum going my way. 10 minutes later, momentum's back in Michael's after he drains a 35-footer. On 16, then we're 2 down, 2 to play. Go to 17, that putt to fall was dead center.
Again, dead center, dead weight, that continues the match going to, again, one of the hardest finishing holes you're going to ever come across.
And then 18, maybe got a little lucky.
Through the low, back up on top. On the way, all in all, Roger, I'd say that's pretty good.
I'm standing next to Fox, his hat's off, because I mean, at that point you're thinking it's a little bit of a formality.
I was ready, I thought I lost, and that was it. Had about 5 feet right up the hill.
And then the putt lips out.
He just hit it too hard.
And as soon as that missed, Ben said, to the first tee.
We've got momentum on our side, and we've got a US Amateur to go win.
I will tell you, after the putt was missed and they started toward the playoff, I really felt like Fox was going to win.
We get to the first hole, and the idea quickly comes in and quickly goes out of the equation of the driver. And I said, I don't think driver's the right play, and I think that he was on board with that too. And I said, well, let's iron. What iron do we need? And he goes, I hit 5 iron in this afternoon and got a little close, and my adrenaline's pumping. I said, here's your 6 iron, put it in the middle of the fairway.
Hit 6 iron, probably 20 yards past my 4 iron.
And this should be fine, going down the right center.
Well, there's no question, by playing the hole this way, it is relatively stress-free.
And then, obviously, Michael hits driver. You know, unfortunately hit it left. And then There's not many places you can miss it on the first hole, especially how firm and fast it was playing.
Ooh, and that's going to get on the other side of the second tee across a cart path.
So we were in a good spot, hitting it in the fairway, and then had a 75-yard shot, hit it well, but kind of skips past the pin and leave itself a downhill putt about 15, 20 feet.
Again, we're on the green in regulation, and again, pass some more pressure back over to Michael, and he hits this chip shot and leaves it short.
I'm not going to get there.
Said Fox, this is a just get started putt. We'll just get it on the highest line possible, trickle it down so that he has to make his 15-footer to continue the match.
I had 20 feet, but it was like hitting a 6-inch putt. That's all I needed to do, was hit it 6 inches and it would go down there.
And just again, looking back at that putt, he hits the absolute perfect putt. Next thing you know, the ball disappears, and
2 down, 2 holes to play. He wins 17 and 18. He birdies the first extra hole, and he is now the United States Amateur Champion. Nothing
sank in. Didn't know what I accomplished. Like I said, I was a nobody playing the USAM. At Chattanooga, I think I had one college win, and then suddenly you're on top of the amateur world. You go from, 500, 600 ranked in the world to top 10, top 20, whatever it was.
I mean, it's such a huge, for so many people, such a monumental thing that happened. I mean, and then as an amateur golfer, if there's a dream of winning an event, my gosh, that's it. That is the pinnacle of the sport as an amateur. Walking back up the fairway with Steven after he won it, you're talking about some of the exemptions that follow being a US Amateur Champion, with the likes of the British Open, the US Open, and obviously the Masters. And then the more that you think about it, the tradition at the Masters is to play with the reigning Masters champion, which at that point was going to be Bubba Watson. So so many avenues and so many windows were open when Steven made that putt.
It's obviously the biggest thing I've done in my career so far, but it's just, people recognize that event as sometimes as a major, and just wherever I am in the golf community, at my home clubs or back in Chattanooga, getting noticed at restaurants or something, that's cool to me, just for that one tournament that I won. Tiger Woods is on the trophy 3 times, and then you see Steven Fox. Still doesn't sink in.